Show me where we began back in '95, where our love grew strong through a friendship that won't die. Show me where we created our greatest plans on the field of battle, in the childish minds we had. This is all we have. This is all we know. A friendship forever love that will ever grow. This is all we have. This is all we know. A friendship forever love that will ever grow.
Hello everyone, my name is Cubic, and welcome back to yet another episode of our dev recording slash dev stream. Hope you guys are liking this series. Basically, in this series, if you're new, we just code. We code command blocks on, and we just record the whole thing. And right now we're working on the Spawnporter command, so if you didn't catch the last couple episodes, go ahead and check that out. For some reason, the music text is not refreshing right now. And I don't want to close out OBS to refresh it. I think I need to close out Pretzel. But yeah, we'll switch that out here in a second. Hope you guys are excited for today. There we go. It is finally warm where I live, which is great. It got up to like 80 degrees Fahrenheit today, which was awesome. So I'm in a better mood, I would say. But we're going to be doing some more work on the Spawnporter command after we fix a few issues with the music text and so forth. But if you guys have not checked out the last episode, be sure to do that because we did a lot of progress there, got a lot of things working. But we will talk about and just kind of explain what we're working on, try and get it a little fixed. Okay, so let's close out Pretzel and try and get that working. Let's see, dev stream, come on, load up, and we'll get this working, and then we will jump into doing some coding. Okay, you're just taking forever. Thank you. And we'll see if that actually comes up or not. Darn. There we go. Okay, that worked. Alright, I was going to have to refresh this, really? But yeah, let's switch over to some Minecraft. And just for anyone who is not aware, basically, that's what we're working on. Spawnable spawnable portals in Minecraft. So right now we've got the Nether, we've got the End working. We got that working last episode. And then we also have the End Gateway working. Unfortunately, we cannot access the End Gateway from the overworld. We actually have to go to the end to access the End Gateway, which was slightly disappointing, but it kind of makes sense. Like, for example, we have the Nether portal, which is taking us to another dimension, and then we have the End portal, which is taking us to another dimension. But now we're talking about the End Gateway, which is more like a portal within the End dimension. So it's kind of, it makes sense why it doesn't work, because you have basically a portal in the End taking you to another place in the End. It's not taking you to another dimension. So it kind of makes sense. It's kind of disappointing though. But today, guys, we're actually going to be working on a couple things. A couple little tweaks that I'm going to make. I'm going to add hopefully get some lore added to these spawn eggs to just give some players some instructions and so forth. And then we need to work on the obtaining of these spawn eggs, which I was thinking about it. I thought about a couple ways we could do it. The only issue is, like, I thought about maybe like fishing, for example. We could do it that way. The only issue is that obtaining this stuff through fishing would be like a test for example. And so like a test for would be like we're checking if a player catches like a fishing rod, for example. And we say to the command, we say, okay, the fishing rod, anytime a player gets a fishing rod in their inventory, that's when we'll do like an RNG system, and they might be able to get a Spawnporter. The only issue with that is if a player just sets up like a dispenser and just keeps recycling. Oops, I hit my mic. I'm sorry. You guys okay? Alright. The only issue would be if like a player sets up a dispenser system that keeps putting fishing rods into their inventory, they'll keep getting infinite Spawnporters. We want these to have I don't want to say a damage to them, but we don't want these to be easily obtained, if that makes sense. So like one person just sets up some sort of farm on a server and everybody has Spawnporters. So it would probably have to be through villagers. As much as I don't like anchoring a lot of my commands on villagers, they're really the only way of like naturally getting items into the world without a crafting recipe. I know there's commands for crafting recipes, and we'll figure that out eventually, but I think for right now, just to get the command out there and testing with people, we'll do it through a villager. We'll add a custom villager to custom villagers. We'll update that command, and then we will have to see where things lead from there. I'm thinking that, you know, as long as we get another version of custom villagers coming out, which will be good. And then I want to move on from this command at some point as well within the next couple episodes here. I want to get this command finished up because we're pretty much there. It pretty much works. We just need to work on the obtaining. I also want to add some lore, so that's what we're going to be working on here. So, yeah, let's go ahead and pull up Notepad here. There you go. And so that's what we were working on in the previous episode. This is the whole code for everything that we're working on. And basically, so this doesn't overwhelm anybody. I'm going to actually zoom this in one so it's easier to see, hopefully. But this is all just like one command, and then we have a title for the command and another command. So it's very much like this command here is everything that we use for the nether. This command here is everything that we use for the end, and this command here is everything we used for the end gateway. So I want to add to this command the give spawn egg, and then I believe it's just display. We need to add some lore to that, or lore, L-O-R-E. So let's quickly pull up. No, go away. There you go. Just I'm not sure what that's all gonna pull up. I don't think it's anything bad there. I always get kind of concerned about showing everything there. Okay, so I need to. Which generator? I have to look at generators to make sure I add the command in correctly. I guess the custom item generator will work fine from command science. Okay, so let's just give it a custom name and some lore and see what that command looks like. So it's display, name, and gateway, lore. So I think how we add this in. See, lure goes. Okay, it's comma. Lore, square brackets, and then for the end gateway, we're gonna write in, get some quotations there as well. Okay, I'm doing everything right so far, I think. We do need to end this off with one more curly bracket just to make sure I do all this correctly. So what do we want to say here? So this is the end gateway. Let's minimize that because I think I got the lore command figured out pretty easily. So we want to say that this, like something to the likes of this. This dimension cannot be accessed from the overworld, or no, this dimension can only be accessed from the end. I think that's what we'll do. So this dimension can only be accessed. That's where my spelling kills me. I'm doing that right. Accessed from the end. Let's do end in all caps. Can only be accessed from the end. Let's do, whoops, not what I wanted. Let's do from in all caps, from the end. Okay, and let's attempt to run this. Hopefully nothing drastically has changed. Let's put this in a separate command block for a second, just to make sure. Because I have pretty much everything working there, so I just want to test to see if this one's going to work. And, it's something simple. I just got to read this out to make sure. Data, no trailing data found at from the ends. Okay, so if we switch, let's go home. Curious if we take out that. There we go. This dimension can only be accessed from the end, okay? And we might want to check out and see if we can do a second line of lore, but then, yep, and that works fine. Perfect. Let's just type in me, make sure it's still spamming, okay. Type equals Enderman. Name, can't type. Name equals end gateway. Enderman. Are we using? We are using an Enderman to spawn this, right? Am I wrong in that? I think I'm using Endermite. No, I'm using Enderman. Okay. It stopped, so I think the Enderman. We got rid of the Enderman finally. This weather is going to be the death of me. There we go. Okay, so the lure can only be accessed from the end. Do we want to switch this to a also like a second line of lore rather than this whole? We have this whole line of text here, and I think we might want to try the lure 2 and see what that looks like for a second. So lure 2, lure comma. It's just an extra comma after that. Okay, I think we can do that pretty easily. Let's get notepad. There we go. Alright guys, sorry about that quick cut. Slight interruption, but not a big deal. So, yeah, we're going to add in a second layer, or second line of text to this. So I think it's just, we do quotations, and a comma, and another quotation, and then we bring back access 1. Okay, let me double check that. Yes. Okay, just a comma there, and that works. Okay, so let's try this command again. Home. Oops, and there we go. Alright, so this, and let's get rid of that stuff. Get rid of that one, and oh yeah, I forgot. Let's switch that actually over in Notepad, because we had the same problem before, where we just had this extra curly bracket that apparently is not necessary, which is fine by me. Okay, so home, shift end, control C, and let's get rid of that. Okay, how does this look? Yes, this dimension can only be accessed from the end, which that looks much better. And that will work. Let's just double check. Good. I'm curious. Okay, it seems like that Enderman despawns eventually. I just don't want to summon in like an infinite amount of Endermen, so I just want to double. I can't even see where that invisibility command ends. I mean, it looks like it gets rid of it at some point. I'm just kind of worried about how soon it gets rid of that Enderman, but I think we're okay. I think it just either it'll despawn eventually. If there is a bug, I'm sure you guys will figure it out. But I just want to double check and make sure, and I think we're doing okay. I think it's more because we're putting the Enderman -100. Either it should not be going through the end gateway, because there's no way for an entity to go through there. We can even double check this. Yeah, nothing. The entity's not going through there. So I imagine it's just because it's an Enderman that it might be teleporting around or something like that, and it might just take a lot longer for it to fall into the abyss, which that's the hope. Because I'm not seeing it anywhere in the overworld, so it can't be like just teleporting back to safe space. It should be okay. Okay, so that's working. Let's change this over in this command. Let's get rid of these two and just double check, make sure this gives us what we want. Yes, can only be accessed from the end. Perfect. Okay, and then we need to switch. Then we're going to add in a line of lore, to the Spawnporter nether command, which is over here. Yes, over here. Okay, so let's see. Spawnporter and okay, let me just double check. Just comma lore, and then that should be good. Okay, let's hope. So yeah. Oops. Comma lore. Square brackets, and then that. So yeah, we're all good. So with this one, we're gonna say it does a 1 block offset, or spawns portal. It's +1 in the X coordinate. I don't know exactly how to like narrow that, crunch that down. So we'll say something like let's just try it. Summons portal +1, and I changed my hotkey to nothing, so I don't worry about hitting that stop recording. I think plus used to be my start recording actually, so should be good. +1 in the X coordinates. Okay, summons portal +1 in the X coordinates. Okay, so let's just let's put a, how long is this text? X is from the end. I think we might get away with just one line of text here. I don't think I need to do anything, especially let me make sure I ended up, okay, yeah. I don't think I need to do anything like with doing any sort of an enter or a second line of text. How's this look? Someone's one X coordinate. I'm okay with that. I think everybody else should be okay with that. If you guys aren't okay with that, it's a very simple change we can do in some sort of a next release if we do one. Basically, when Minecraft adds more portals, we'll do another release of this. If Minecraft adds more portals, I will also request that they make the end gateway accessible from the overworld. That would be my next request from them. But more portals would be cool. I don't care where it takes us. So summons portal X coordinate, that's fine. Looks good. I think that's fine. So let's make sure that command works. We're gonna test this command once we put it into here. There we go, and that's good. Okay, so let's try it. There we go. Puts it 1 in the X. Let's just type me in. I don't know why I type me into the chat, just to test to make sure. Simply just to test to make sure that like the invisibility is actually wearing off. It's not just infinitely going. So yeah, that's good. So this command is working. Spawnporter end. I don't think we need to add any lure to that. I don't think there's any. Do you think there's a need to add lure? Lure. I know I'm saying lure. It sounds like I'm saying lure. Lure to that. I don't think so. Because this command is very straightforward, where it's just that. Spawns right in that coordinate, so it shouldn't be a big deal. So I think we'll leave that one alone. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, this command is all working correctly. I also added in off camera this kind of structure to this. I like to make them all different. I'm not just going to put bedrock on everything, mainly because I think if we ever do a release of this command, like I have plans to do a release of someday in the long future. We're going to do a release where all of these commands are in the same world, which would be cool. And I think then we'll put up barrier blocks and stuff. But I think we're okay. I don't see a big deal in letting this just be brick. In fact, we could add a layer of just barrier blocks all around this if we wanted to. Or we could do even... Yeah, let's do like a ring of barrier blocks around this just to keep it safe. And then that will be fine. So, but also there's a little bit of aesthetic here just to so I know what things are, essentially. If we ever do like a large scale command pack of this sort, we would want to know what things are. So that's kind of why we're doing that. So I need iron bars. I think I had some in my inventory. No, I didn't. Okay, good. Alright, so let's just seal this up because the command's working. And just a reminder, I'd recommend, I don't think this one is as necessary, but I would recommend having this in the spawn chunks or nearby someplace that's loaded. So eventually, I think if we ever did a release of this, we would include a mod in it of some sort of like some sort of like a like chunk loader or something of that sort. As far as I know, and I've looked online, this is one thing I definitely want to see added into the game, is some sort of a chunk loading system. I don't think that'll ever get added into vanilla, but if there's a way to do it through command, that would be cool. We also are going to need to put in a few glowstone blocks into this structure to keep this lit up so mobs won't spawn, because it is too high. So I don't really want mobs getting spawned in this structure, if we can avoid it. So let's put all these bricks up. Okay, and then we can break out whenever we're done. So let's do glowstone. And we'll just place that there, and we'll put a few blocks of glowstone around just to keep everything lit up. It's not going to be the most aesthetic thing ever, but it'll keep things lit up, which will be good. Okay, and then let's do /give at p barrier. Let's break out of here. And then we're just going to place down some barrier blocks across the top here. The only thing I don't like about these barrier blocks is they take a second to show up, which is kind of annoying. Okay, so let's go here. So as I'm doing this, I'm thinking about the villager that we need to add. Do we want to add the villager into... I think we need to release a couple versions of this, actually, now I think about it. We need to release a version that coincides with the custom villagers. I think would be cool. That one is not a priority to get this thing released. If we're gonna release it, it has to probably be a standalone. Like, it needs to have its own independence from another command. Because, you know, I think the last thing players want to do is, like, you know, oh, there's this cool command out there, and it's a pretty neat command, but you have to download this other command to get it into your world, which was what the custom villagers would require most likely. Not even most likely, would require. So we'll probably have to build a custom villager to bring into the game. I might also include within the barrier blocks here access to the command blocks just to get the portals, so if people want to play around with this in creative, they can. And then we are also going to need to record like a tutorial on how to use this, just because it's helpful. It's not, I don't think, like, we can easily explain it in text and so forth, and, you know, reference one of these videos as well would be fine, but I think it would be cooler to just record a tutorial, and we might even do that in the middle of like one of these episodes. Would be cool, just to kind of like, even though it's like episodeception, like we're recording an episode within an episode, or recording a tutorial within an episode of the I would call it a dev stream. You guys gotta come up with like a name for this. Would be cool. Like I said name weird, I'm sorry, but we gotta come up with like a name for this this series, like rather than dev recording. Like, I don't want to say like command block development, but, you know, something that does involve command blocks, of course, and so that way we get the title, so this way people know what they're watching when they click on the video. But I gotta come up with something kind of somewhat creative. Okay, so these barrier blocks are working. Good, everything's covered over. And we're gonna do a layer below as well, just because I'm worried about, like, the whole thing is I'm worried about creeper explosions. I'm not really worried about like mobs getting on top of this thing. It's not a big deal because it's sealed up pretty well. But I'm worried about player explosions. I'm worried about creeper explosions. I'm worried about Minecraft in general being a factor. So let's just break underneath all of this if we can. I would like MC edit all of this, but it's probably faster for me just to do this than to MC edit, because it'll take a while to boot that up, and then do it right. So we'll just do it manually here. In saying that, I think MC edit might have been easier. also need to clear all this out to make sure we can copy this schematic correctly too. Because if we get like a layer of obsidian or something, it's gonna look messy. So I really don't want it. I mean, it looks messy already. I get it because of all the barriers, but it'll look messier if like there's a dirt block attached to the bottom of this thing, and that's not gonna be fun. Okay, almost there. Apologize if you can hear dogs barking. I can't do anything about that. It's 80 degrees outside. I'm not closing up all the windows in the house to to do all this. It's not a big deal. Ignore them. Recently, like, if you think about it, a lot of people say, like, if you ignore, you know, this said thing, it'll ignore you. That's not true with dogs. Just so you know. It's not true at all. If you ignore them, they get louder. And louder. Seriously, how long did I make this structure? I don't remember. Like, did we duplicate this thing accidentally? I also hate breaking blocks in creative like this. I don't know about you guys, but it's just like, it doesn't feel the same as survival when you're like clearing out this large area in survival. It's more like, well, this is boring. This is boring. So yeah, we're almost done, so it's cool. And this will hopefully be the last episode we work on this command for a while at least. I don't know what the bug reports are going to come back as. You know, there might be issues. As far as I can tell, it's a pretty straightforward command if you think about it. It's not really, I mean, all we're doing is summoning in a portal and we're getting rid of a mob. That's pretty much all we're doing. We're not doing too much else other than obtaining or getting a villager working. So, all right. So let's get. Let's see. We can put these in our inventory because we're not actively using them. Let's get a bit of obsidian to just fill that in, and then let's get our barriers and cover over the bottom. This rain. It was fine for like 1 or 2 episodes. We were good, and now it's like, nope. I want to rain all the time. And the thing is, I need the command block output to see everything that's going on. So I can't like turn off command block output and just spam that command in that command block, because otherwise it'll just spam everything else. So kind of need to see that command block output. Make sure we barrier up everything. And I think we got this thing. Looks so, the barrier blocks are just so weird sometimes. But I think we got this whole thing ready to go. And whenever we don't have anything in our hand, it'll disappear. So we have the barrier blocks up here now. See, we can't access in here at all unless we break stuff. Okay, so now we need to work on the obtaining of the villager here, or the obtaining aspect. So I'm going to run, let's see, we're going to break that barrier block, then we're going to put a block down with a button. That'll give us the Spawnporter end. So we're just going to use a sign, old-fashioned sign. Hopefully this will make it through the MC edit process. It won't. End portal. Put a barrier over top of that at least. I think that'll be okay. even if like a creeper blows up right here, it should. I don't know. Do creepers blow up command blocks? I don't think they do. I know they'll kill repeaters and stuff though. So we have to be careful about that. I'm just worried about the survival aspect. I think if we ever release this in like a full pack like we've talked about, or even just play it in survival, we'll seal this up. But because it's going to be, players are probably going to want to download this and test it out. More or less, we'll make this so that you can access. This will be another portal, end portal. Okay, good. That's looking good. Okay, and then this one's the end gateway. End gateway portal. Okay, and that's looking good. So let's make sure these all, I did this right. It's going to be giving me another one, correct? Yep, okay, so we're good. Okay. So now we need to work on the obtaining in survival. And I guess the custom villager is going to be the case here. Here's my thing. Custom villager is probably what we'll go with. It's just kind of wish there was an easier way. I don't want to do like a crafting recipe because it's just kind of like I want it to be rare to find. I want it to be like almost like dungeon chest rare to find. So I guess the custom villager is what we'll go with. It's just these systems are annoying to set up sometimes. So we'll just break this off. Do 5x5 break off here. Hopefully this is enough space. And I'll do this. Okay, and we'll just try and compact it into here as much as possible. We might need some more space though. Okay, so for the summoning of this villager, we need to do sensor during the day. So anytime it's during the day, it's going to check, it's going to pulse a command block. And this command block needs to we need to write this in Notepad. Okay, so this is all good. Let's go ahead and hit enter a couple times, and we'll say this is the not stop recording. Good. That's somehow a key. Okay, so let's say for this one we're gonna say villager. Say custom villager command. Custom villager command. RNG. Let's see. Trying summon villager. It's gonna be the try. I guess try summon villager will work. This is just, it's gonna try to summon a villager, and we're gonna give it a 1 in, we can set it to, it could be a 1 in 10 chance, it could be a 1 in 6 chance, it could be a 1 in anything, it could be a 2 in 3 chance. I don't know why we do 2 and 3, but we can do any number of chances. So we'll say for right now we'll do like a 1 in 4 chance. 1 in 4 chance. Okay, so for this command we need to execute at entity type equals armor stand, name equals we're going to have to change this for custom villagers. I think it's like villager summon, so we'll do portal villager as the custom named armor stand. And then we're going to have to figure out the coordinates for it. But then we'll do a set block, redstone underscore, and redstone air. No, redstone block. Okay, so that's the execute. Let's try summon villager. Let's actually take that down a couple notches. In fact, not that many. That'll be fine, hopefully. Okay, so then this will be the custom armor stand for portal villager. And then for this command, I keep hitting tab accidentally. This will be /summon at entity. It's not entity, sorry, it's armor stand. Is it coordinates before or after? I think it's before. Armor stand. Coordinates, armor stand. I think that's right. Do I have one actually written down here? I think I have one in the custom mob. See, execute summon zombie, coordinates after, and then custom name. Coordinates after. Custom name. Then we need to do portal villager. Quotations. We're going to make the custom name invisible too, which I think is just custom name visible 0. Whoops, I didn't want to do that one. I want to do switch between. Okay. Custom name visible 0. And I think that's it for that command. Okay, so this is our execute. Villager summon. I gotta figure out how to do the 1 in 3 chance, or the 1 in 4 chance. 1 in 4 chance is another armor stand. Just trying to figure out the best way to do this. Let's break this down because I feel kind of claustrophobic right now. Want some freedom to work. Just break down all of these barriers for right now. Let's just square off this whole structure. Make it even and look nicer. Okay. Square this off. Okay, so we need to run the execute command. Let's just put the execute command right in here. So that's done. Okay, and then we need to summon. So we need to do command block, brick. This will be the RNG for it. Actually, we don't even need the sign. Now that I think of it, we don't need the sign. And then this will be our test command. So we're going to make it a 1 in 4, so we need 4 of these structures built. I don't want to do that one. I want to do this one. Much better. Okay. And we need the summon portal villager, and then we'll basically do a success one in a second. Let's get this working. This is going to be negative, positive 1 in the x coordinate, and 1 up. So 1, Whoops. Nope. There we go. 1 and 1. Failed. Unable to summon object. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. Summon armor stand underscore. I think I had that problem before. Yeah, it's armor stand underscore. Okay, so that's our portal villager, so we can actually test this real quick. We can figure out where the coordinates are here. So it's negative in the Z coordinate and negative 1 in the Y coordinate. So negative 1 here, negative 1 here. So now if we test this, found nothing. Oh, armor stand underscore. That's why. I have to change all that, make sure. Block placed, and there we go. So we see that this is where the redstone block is going to summon. It's going to test. There's going to be 4 of these, and it's execute at R, correct? At R. That's what we want instead. So it's going to, each of these is going to have an armor stand. And it's going to choose between the 4 of these which one it goes for. And one of these will be our success. So I think we can get rid of these, and then this one will be our success command block. These other ones will be a set block, -1 air. Simple as that. And then anytime this thing tries to pick, and we can try to see it if we watch in the top right of my screen, you see that command, or you see that redstone block. It's basically just getting automatically set to air. So then all we're going to do is put down an armor stand in each of these spaces. Oops, did not want to do that. I'll fix that later. So each one of these will be a success factor, or each one of these will be just a random RNG. And so if we run, let's just run a redstone wire out here so you guys can hopefully see this better. So just watch the command blocks. See that? Reach? I don't think, oh yeah, I'm turning it this way. Whoops. See that command, or you see that redstone block? Now there's our success factor. So that one's successful, and we didn't actually paste that one in. We should. You see how it chooses randomly between all 4 of those positions eventually? So every night there's a 1 in 4 chance of one of these villagers spawning in your village. And we can increase that exponentially if we see fit. If there's a bug with too many spawning, we can always try any number of armor stands that we want to, and we can correct this. So now on to the actual summon part, which is going to be I think it can literally be as simple as a redstone comparator to here. In fact, we'll do a set block. Why not? We'll do this a little bit differently here. So we'll have a set of command blocks here. So anytime this one's successful, it'll set a block. And this is going to be negative in the Z coordinates, so 3 blocks. So -3 redstone underscore block. So anytime this one's successful, we should see, do I have something to trigger this with? Not really. Button. We should see a command block end up there, or sorry, redstone block end up there. And this one will be set to set block -1 air. And this one is going to be our execute summon command. So we're going to write this in Notepad. Grab a quick drink of water. Okay. So we have everything written here. And this will be our actual summon villager command. Okay, so we're going to write this as, let's just give ourselves some space here, /execute at entity type equals villager, name equals, and then we're going to give this a name of portal villager. So anytime you name your villager portal villager, that is your let's make that, I guess portal villager is fine. I think everybody can remember that. Hopefully everybody can remember that. Execute. And anytime you have a villager named portal villager, that is the villager that can technically summon this villager. So it's execute at entity type equals villager, name equals portal villager. So it's only once you name portal villager. And then we'll do 1 block offset. 1 block high offset. So hopefully that'll keep it from spawning inside each other too easily. Let's actually do 1 block offset in the Z coordinate. And we'll do summon at entity. Not summon at entity. Summon villager. And this is where we need to write the villager command over an MC stacker. I'm just gonna generate it so I know what I'm doing. Villager. Summon villager. Pick a random name. I don't think it has to have a profession to work. And then recipe. I'm just running this as a test thing. Okay. That's a lot of commands. Okay, we can figure this out. It's just I'm looking it over to figure it all out and make sure I'm doing this right. So summon villager, lowercase v. Also, quickly, let's switch out the armor stand to have the underscores in it. Underscore. So armor stands will have underscores now. Good. Okay, so villager. Custom name. This will be portal. Let's see, do we want to do portal villager? Portal. Because we already have one named portal villager, so I don't want it to. Well, it's portal villager without the space, but spawn porter. Just do spawn porter. Okay. Custom name visible. We'll say yes to that. Actually, no. We want to be able to hover over it, but you don't want it to be permanently that way. Profession. Correct? Yes. 0, we don't really care. And then comma, and then offers. And this is where it gets interesting. Offers. Okay. Curly brackets. Recipes. Reward. EXP. 0B, I don't really care too much. Max uses. This number is really interesting. 2147483 647. Uses 0. Buy. And then this is where we need to import our custom egg. So it's gonna, or no, it's gonna buy. We need to set this up. It's gonna have a couple trades. So the first one it's gonna buy is the nether. Nether portal, and I'm not sure what we want to offer. It's going to be something with the nether involved, something you get in the nether to trade for it. This is Spawnporter too, so you're spawning portals, remember, so we have to be kind of balanced. I think like a wither skull will be good. Like we could do a skull if we wanted to. What else is in the nether? I gotta think of everything that's in the nether that's like kind of rare potentially. What about like gold horse armor? Could be interesting. Let me look at the ID for Minecraft. ID list. It's fine. ID list. Gold horse armor. Okay, golden horse. It's just golden underscore horse underscore armor. Just double checking. So buy ID. Buy ID. Okay, yeah, good. Making sure I'm writing it correctly. Minecraft. And it's gonna be gold underscore horse underscore armor. Okay. Count, and we can set the count to anything. We're gonna count 1B just because horse armor does not stack, and so that'll be a immediate bug for us. Okay, 1B, good. Okay, and then it's gonna sell. Yeah, sell ID, and this is where we copy and paste the code here. Spawn egg 10 display. That's the wrong one. I need the nether one actually. Give me this thing. Spawn egg. Copy. This is where our command could easily go haywire. So we pasted that in. Cell ID spawn egg, good. And it has triple curly brackets at the end. Hopefully that's okay. I think that'll work. Okay, I don't think I need to add any damage counts to that. And I'm gonna go with my gut here. Do a square bracket and then 2 curly brackets at the end, and that it'll at least tell us if something's wrong there. Okay, so home. Whoops, I don't want to hit control. Let's just copy the summon part of this. Control. There we go. Okay, let's just try command block out here. / summon. Spawn egg. Cell ID spawn egg is not valid. Is it Minecraft spawn egg? Oh yeah, I forgot to put it in quotations. ID. Some custom villager. Let me just, I gotta look at it in Notepad, otherwise I won't be able to find it. ID. Oh, the IDs for villagers are ridiculous. I forgot of how they handle damages and counts and stuff is not the same. Crud. Is there any other way we can do this besides just doing... I don't mind the challenge of trying to figure this out with the villager, but I guarantee you this code to do this is ridiculous and not worth it to get the Spawnporter in, because it's written... let me drag and drop this over onto the screen. So, zoom in. This is how it's written. It's written as... Rather than like ID Minecraft planks and we give the damage count how much, it's damage and then count. That's my complaint here, and that's why I'm not too excited about doing this. Because I think it's... I'm not excited about using a villager. That's my thing. I'm not excited about doing a villager. Because I don't like that idea. I want something different for this. So, So we're already at like an hour on this episode. So let's do this. I'm going to end this episode here. You guys can leave comments if you have any ideas of ways we can simplify this a little bit more. So it's not summoning a custom villager to do this. I want something different. I want to... I want to do something that's a little more unique than that. That you can get these through crafting, maybe potentially some sort of crafting. I don't like the custom crafting because I don't think it works real well in 1.12, but it might be an option that we can look at. I'll have to brainstorm to figure out if there's any other ways I can do it, because I don't want to anchor everything off of villagers, so that's why I'm kind of hesitant to, like, we could sit down, we could work out the code for this, to figure out the summon the custom villager thing, but I almost feel as though there might be some other option that we're missing, and I'd rather not do just villagers for everything. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. So maybe you guys can let me know if there's any other... I mean, no, there's other options. I'm just curious. I don't want to say the easiest option, but the option that's not so overpowered and complex to do that it's, like, you know, overwhelming in a sense. I guess that's making sense. I'm hoping I'm making sense with that. But yeah, leave your comments down below if you guys enjoyed, first of all, as well as suggestions of ways to give this stuff to players. Remember, we can't do anything that's like an obtaining of an item, because then somebody can just like keep putting the item in their inventory, which isn't fair. So I'm kind of curious of ways to do things. Maybe we could try like in chests or something like that in a spawner. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out off camera. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to continue working here, and hopefully by next episode we'll figure this out. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.